Legend Mick Foley, and you are watching C-RadTV here, right here on YouTube. Have a nice day.
This is Cody Diener, and you are watching C-RadTV on YouTube. And just like Cody Diener, C-RadTV lives by two simple words. Just give her, yeah.
How's it going, guys? It's Brad C at a WWE Monday Night Raw review from March 4th. The go-home Raw to Fastlane. We are 34 days away till WrestleMania. So to start off Raw, we have boring fuckface comes out to the ring. Roman Reigns comes out. Does the same boring entrance. Only difference is that in this entrance, we actually had a botch during it because the cameraman actually tripped on his own cable during it. So yeah, haha, cameraman tripped. So yeah, already not even a minute into the show and we already have a botch. Not looking good. And the Philadelphia crowd was actually cheering for Roman for once. Because usually I've known Philadelphia's hated Roman in the past with a passion. But I guess, since Roman's coming back from leukemia, I guess they're going to let it slide too. Don't worry, the fans will turn on Roman eventually and we'll go back to booze. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I just thought it was going to be this week because of Philadelphia's hate, but I guess Philadelphia put it aside. Oh well. It'll soon happen. Like, we all know it's going to happen eventually. Because WWE won't change Roman's character, that would require too many brain cells. So continuing on, boring fuckface goes out to the ring. Roman Reigns. Last week was the comeback. Roman Reigns. This week, we take our yard back. Roman Reigns. Had to think about my future. Roman, what future? Vince McMahon has your future planned out. You're eventually going to get the Universal title back eventually. Or whatever, or the main title, whatever brand you're on after the shakeup. Like, your future is already planned out. It's just gonna be when Vince wants to pull the trigger with you. Let's continue on though. Roman Reigns. I want one man standing in my way. That man be Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns. I want Seth to come out here right now. So then Seth Rollins music hits. Seth Rollins comes out. By the way, I like Seth Rollins' new shirt. It was a cool design where it said Beast Slayer on it. A cool little Seth Rollins logo too, and on the back, the Rollins logo was gold. So yeah, really nice, cool shirt design, not gonna lie. So then Seth comes out, he goes on saying that last week, when Roman came into the ring, that moment was one of the greatest moments of his life. And then Seth says that he's gonna go ahead and take that inspiration from that moment and bring it to WrestleMania for Brock Lesnar. And then Seth says that he knows where Roman's head's at, since Roman lost the Universal title, had to vacate without losing it. And then Seth says that Roman deserves an opportunity more than Seth does. No, Seth, you're more deserving than Roman. It's the other way around. Roman Reigns. You don't know where my head is at. You're wrong. Roman Reigns. One person watched this place and kept everyone in line while I was gone. That person was you. Roman Reigns. No one has more confidence in you than I do. Roman Reigns. Good luck against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns. I need a favor. So then Seth says that he'll do anything for Roman. Roman Reigns. I want to get band back together. So band means Roman's referring to the Shield. And then Seth says that no way after what Dean did to Seth after Roman left. Roman Reigns. I got my work cut out for me. Roman Reigns. Do you, the fans, want to see the Shield back together? So Roman, of course, asking the fans if they want the Shield back together, just to go for the cheap pop. Oh, so Roman, you're still gonna be Cena 2.0. Gonna try and go for the cheap pop from the crowd, huh? Roman Reigns. tomorrow's not guaranteed. Roman Reigns, life is short. Roman Reigns, I love both my brothers. Roman Reigns, I want them together with me one more time before Dean may fuck off from this company. Roman Reigns, we don't know what Dean's future is. So then Seth says that Roman's right and that life is short and tomorrow's not guaranteed. And then Seth says he'll do it with Roman. So far we got 2/3 of the Shield back together. Roman Reigns, let's bring Dean Ambrose out here and complete the Shield. So then Dean Ambrose comes out. His music hits. Dean goes up to the edge of the stage. Before Dean could say a word, Elias would then run out from the back and then smash Dean in the back with a guitar. And then Elias would run away as Roman and Seth would come running up to the aid of Ambrose. So then Dean gets up and then walks away from Seth and Roman into the backstage area. Don't worry, we're going to revisit this situation later on. So next up, we get a 6-man tag team match. We get Finn Balor, Kurt Angle, and Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. Highlights of the match: Braun's drive-by shoulder tackle looked good. Finn's front flip dive looked very good too. Baron's deep six is pretty good also, along with Drew's standing suplex from the ground. Kurt's 3 Germans looked pretty good. Kurt would botch a back body drop. I'm not sure what the fuck that was. It looked like crap. Kurt would then log in the ankle lock. But Kurt would have to let go when Bobby Lashley tries to break it up. Kurt hits a 4th German, which looked pretty good too. Drew's Glasgow Kiss looked good also. Braun's Hammer Fist was good along with his running Power Slam. Finn will hit the coup de grace on Bobby Lash on Drew McIntyre. But Leo Rush would put Finn's foot on the rope, forcing a break while the ref wasn't looking. Finn would chase Leo Rush at ringside, but Leo would be able to avoid Finn Balor. And then Bobby Lashley would then attack Finn Balor on the outside the ring. Braun would then bulldoze Leo Rush right through the barricade, knocking Braun right out of the match. So it sets up our match ending. Drew and Bobby and Baron throw Finn back in the ring. Bobby hits the spear on Finn. Bobby Lashley gets the 3 count for the win. So the Intercontinental Champion, Finn Balor, takes the loss in this match. Like, your champions, once again, your champions should not be losing on the road to WrestleMania, no matter what. So then after the match, all 3 men would then go and attack Kurt Angle for post-match assault. They then run Kurt right into the steel steps, not taking him out. Then all 3 would go in and attack Finn Balor again. Drew would hit the Claymore on Finn Balor. Then Bobby and Baron would hit a double choke slam on the Finn Balor on top of the steel steps. All 3 stand tall. So, okay. Match was meh. But oh well. Your champions still should not be losing on the road to WrestleMania. Like, you can have them win and still do post-match assault on them. Like, you gotta make the titles feel fucking prestigious and not worth a goddamn equivalent of a replica belt. God damn it. So, continuing on, next up, we get a one-on-one women's match. We get Natalya versus Ruby Riott. Highlights of the match: Ruby's head toss is out good, along with Natalya's arm drag. Natalya's fisherman's was out good too, along with her discus clothesline. Natalya would lock in the sharpshooter, but Ruby Riott was able to roll out of it. Match ending, Ruby would go for a cradle on Natalya. Natalya counters with a cradle of her own. Natalya gets the 3 count for the win. So then after the match, as Natalya's walking up the stage, up the ramp, Lacey Evans' music would hit. Lacey Evans would come out. She'd walk down the ramp and then walk right back up like she's done the last couple weeks, just doing a walk, and I'm out. So yeah. So then continuing on, next up, we get a segment. So Triple H comes out to the ring. Of course, Triple H going to address what Batista said last week. after Batista attacked Ric Flair on Ric's 70th birthday. And Batista was not in Philadelphia. The reason, well, Batista posted the video on his Instagram. Batista said he does not like Philadelphia fans. So Batista said he would not show up for Raw. But Batista says he might show up at Pittsburgh depending on how much he likes the Pittsburgh fans or not. He said it was nothing personal. Okay. I believe you. Not. That's a rant for another day. So then Triple H goes on saying that last week he was there for Richard Fleer. So he is referring to Ric Flair by his real name, so it's already breaking the fourth wall. Breaking kayfabe, in this case. So Triple H says that Richard has always been there for him, and through the good times and the bad times. The good times, of course, being for Richard being there for Triple H's wedding. And, of course, Triple H being at a couple of Ric Flair's weddings since he had like 3 or 4 of them. And Triple H said he sadly couldn't attend all of them. And, of course, Triple H also said he's been there for Ric Flair through the bad times, too. But then Triple H says that every time he hears his phone rings, he dreads the phone call, thinking that it's all news that Rick is gone. So he always dreads that every time the phone rings, it's the news that Ric Flair has passed away. That is what Triple H dreads every time. Crazy. So then Triple H is about to call Batista a piece of blank, but he stopped at of. Because I think Triple H remembered that WWE is a PG show. I think we all know he wanted to say piece of shit. But he had to hesitate there. It's okay, Triple H. You're the goddamn COO. You can say whatever the fuck you want whenever the fuck you want to say it. They can always censor it out, you know. Hell, Vince McMahon got away with saying the F word in fucking Detroit of all places. I'm pretty sure he can get away with saying shit in Philadelphia. So then Triple H goes on saying that Dave Batista, so referring to Batista by his real name Dave, so also breaking the fourth wall again. He goes on and says that Dave has got his attention. So then Triple H goes on and calls Batista a quitter because he doesn't get his way. So then Triple H mocks Batista's bad guy 101 acting skills, saying that he doesn't want to be in Philly because he hates Philadelphia. So then Triple H goes on and says that he'll come to him. No matter where it be, whether it be at his house or on a movie set. I don't know, you're going to have to talk to Marvel, though. I'm not sure if Marvel would take kindly to you walking on their set while they're filming Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We'll have to see, though. Triple H then goes on telling Batista to have some balls and show up face to face. And Triple H says that when you go face to face with Triple H, you're not looking at the character. You're looking at the man. Jesus fucking Christ. That's like what? 3, maybe 4 fourth wall breaks? Like it's fourth wall break after fourth wall break after fourth wall break. Shocking. So then Triple H goes on saying that he'll give him everything he wants. And then he invites Batista to show up to Pittsburgh next Monday for a face-to-face confrontation if Batista actually likes Pittsburgh enough to show up. So yeah, and that's already been confirmed that next week Batista and Triple H will meet face-to-face. I think this is officially going to set up Triple H versus Batista at WrestleMania. So it looks like Triple H has healed up enough from his pectoral injury to compete at Mania. And the longest time, I didn't think Triple H would actually be able to be good to go for Mania. But hey, Triple H has defied the odds. He probably went to goddamn John Cena's healing school, so that Triple H can recover in half the time. Because I think it was like 2007, John Cena had the same pectoral injury Triple H had, where he tore the pectoral queen off the bone. They told Cena he'd be out a year, and then Cena came back in 4 months. Like, there's been a couple if Cena's injuries have been this exact time, this kind of crap. Because there was also 2013, Cena had that tricep injury. They told him he'd be out 6 months. He came back in 2. There was also that spine injury suffered in 2008. Well, the 2008 one, it's not as impressive. Because they told Cena he'd be out 4 months. He came back in 3. And not as impressive as the others. And of course, there was 2016, where Cena tore his rotator cuff. They told Cena he'd be back in 9 months. And then Cena came back in 5.5. So yeah, I wonder if Triple H took some tips from fuckboy Buckethead. But that's a rant for another day. Let's continue on. So next up, we get a tag team gauntlet match. Heavy Machinery starts off by facing the B bandwagon team, Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. This was all set up because the 3 teams Heavy Machinery will face in this match were all insulting Otis Dozovich and hurt Otis's feelings. Oh look, so we set this off on some high school drama shit. Fuck's sakes, grow the fuck up. This shit, that build-up is fucking pathetic. So fucking trash. Like, didn't WWE, recently fire their creative a long time ago? Seems like the new creative they brought in is absolute garbage. Get better fucking creative, for fuck's sakes. This is terrible. Terrible way to set up a gauntlet match. So, Heavy Machinery versus Bandwagon Team is the first gauntlet match. Highlights, Curtis's dancing is a fail. There's no place for dancing on a wrestling show. Tucker's clothesline, which also led to Curtis Axel spiking Bo Dallas. So yeah, Curtis takes out his own partner, which leads to the quick match ending. Heavy Machinery hits the compactor on Curtis Axel. They get the 3 count to eliminate the Bandwagon Team. So the next one we have is Ass Tension. Connor and Vector. So highlights there. Heavy's double splash was good. Vector's spin kick was good. Otis's exploder was good. Leads to our match ending. Otis hits the splash from the second rope onto Connor to get the 3 count to eliminate them. So then the third and final entry in this gauntlet match is the team of Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. And Kurt Hawkins enters this match on a 261 match losing streak. So highlights Zack and Kurt's STO Russian leg sweep combo was pretty good. Otis's pop-up powerbomb was also good too, leads to the match ending. Otis hits the caterpillar elbow drop on Kurt Hawkins. Otis gets the 3 count for the win. So Heavy Machinery wins the gauntlet, and Kurt Hawkins' losing streak goes to 262 consecutive losses. Don't worry, Kurt. Someday you'll win a match. Someday. Just keep trusting the process. So then next up, before we get to our matchup of Elias versus Dean Ambrose, we have Elias in the ring to do some singing. So this song Elias does is called When I Know I'm in Philly When. So Elias goes on saying that he knows he's in Philly because a Stanley Cup is nowhere to be found. Oh, Elias, you're referring to the fact that the Flyers have not won a Stanley Cup since 1976. And right now, they're far away from it because they're probably tanking this year. Because their playoff hopes are very slim to none. And if the Flyers do make the playoffs, they're going to get completely blown out in the first round by a division leader. So, yeah, there we go there. So then Elias goes on saying that he knows he's in Philly because everyone takes pride in this city. And then Elias says that he knows he's in Philly because everyone's mom looks like that googly-eyed slob named Gritty. So Elias is now referring to that famous NHL mascot known as Gritty. The big orange guy. That has become the most popular mascot in the NHL. As a Red Wings fan, I'll say this. Gritty actually is not that bad of a mascot. He actually is pretty funny and entertaining and knows how to make people laugh. So I gotta give him kudos there. So then Elias goes on saying that everyone in Philadelphia is a fat load. That's it. He just said fat load. Because he can't say fat load of shit because it's a PG show. And he's not Triple H. So then Elias says that he knows he's in Philly because he saw an Eagles fan eating horse manure on the side of the road. I have no idea which Eagles fan that would be. It would probably be Eat That Pussy 445 since that Eagles fan is so full of shit. And he's a fake-ass bitch anyway. Faker than John Cena. Let me just put it like that. So then Elias says that he knows he's in Philly because the children have no future no matter how hard they try. And then Elias ends it by saying that he knows he's in Philly because Bryce Harper says that that Philadelphia is where his career will go and die. Oh yes, because Bryce Harper just signed with the Phillies on that 13-year deal worth $330 million at a $25.4 million cap hit a year. Holy fucking shit. I know he's talented, Philly, but is he worth over $25 million? I honestly think you overpaid him a little bit. Have fun with that contract in a few years. So yeah, I think this is actually pretty funny about what Elias said about Philadelphia. Not gonna lie, it was pretty good. Pretty good roast on the city. Oh yeah, next week, Raw's gonna be in Elias' hometown of Pittsburgh. So let's continue on. And I bet you Elias is probably going to take some shots at Big Ben or Antonio Brown. Or hell, even Le'Veon Bell at this point. So to the match now. Highlights of the match. Dean's leg sweep into the barricade was, man, it was okay. Like, it wasn't good, but it wasn't complete garbage. Elias went an oversell going over the top rope by then all of a sudden landing into the barricade. It's like, what the fuck was that? Like, the overselling Elias did was completely unnecessary. Elias' old school was pretty good along with his knee drop. Dean's neckbreaker was good. Elias' knee in midair was pretty well done too. So to the match ending, Elias would hit the drift away. Elias gets the 3 count for the win. So it was a pretty relatively quick match. But then after the match, Boring Fuckface and Seth Rollins both come out to the ring, of course, to try and see if Dean will do the Shield reunion. Because both of them tried to ask Dean backstage before earlier in the night, and they both failed to get the job done. So Dean gets up, he walks around the crowd. Sorry, my kitty's just there, right there. Here, come on over. Come on over and join. Say hi. Yeah, come on, say hi. There you go. So Dean walks around the ring, and then leaves the ring through the crowd. And then Baron Corbin's music hits, and then Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre come out. So then Baron goes on and calls this Shield reunion pathetic. And then Drew goes on calling the Shield 3 broken dogs fighting for their table scraps. And Drew says that they were going to offer a match against the Shield at Fastlane, but they decide that they will just end it right here, right now. So we start off with a 3-on-2 brawl right off the bat. But then Dean Ambrose, after waiting a few seconds, he then run out from the crowd. And then come in to help to the aid of Seth and Roman. Roman then goes on, hits the stupid man punch on Bobby Lashley. All 3 men clear the ring of Corbin, Lashley, and McIntyre. All 3 stand tall, and then all 3 would do the Shield pose after Dean gave it some more thought. But Dean finally said, fuck it, let's do the Shield reunion. Because we don't know what Dean's contract situation is. It's becoming a complete clusterfuck. Because Dean might be leaving. Oh wait, it may be a work. Oh, he's leaving for sure. Oh wait, Rowan might convince him to stay. When it gets to the Ultimate, let's just wait and see what happens. It's a clusterfuck beyond all clusterfucks. So, continuing on. Next up, we get a one-on-one women's match. We have Tamina versus one half of the Raw Women's Tag Team Champion, Sasha Banks. Highlights of the match: Sasha's double knees were good, in the corner were good. Tamina's head drag was good. Sasha's side Russian leg sweep was good. Leads to a Banks statement, but Nia would pull Tamina out of the ring and interfere. Bayley would try and even it out, but Nia would just easily overpower Bayley. Sasha would hit a meteor on Nia from the apron, but as Sasha gets back in the ring, which leads to her match ending, Nia would distract Sasha long enough for Tamina to hit the super kick on Sasha. Tamina gets the 3 count for the win. So now you gave the tag champions no momentum entering Fastlane Sunday. Made the champions look like shit. And now the question is Sunday, when Bayley and Sasha defend the women's tag titles against Nia and Tamina. Will the memes of Sasha being unable to successfully defend the title continue? Or will Sasha finally have a successful title defense and retain the women's tag titles? Will the memes continue or will they die Sunday? Gonna have to tune in to find out. And also, you should not have your champions losing on the road to WrestleMania. Unless they're dropping the belts. And speaking of which, next up we have a title match for the Raw Tag Team titles. As the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder defend against the team of Ricochet and Aleister Black. Highlights in the match: Aleister's strikes throughout the match were good, along with Dash's side slam. Scott's head toss followed by a leg drop was pretty good. Aleister's springboard moonsault was pretty okay too. Aleister's arm drag was good. Key point in the match: Bobby Roode and Chad Gable would both come out ringside to scout both teams. Aleister's double leg sweep was pretty well done too to both men. Ricochet's neckbreaker was good, along with his head scissor and his springboard uppercut. Leads to the match ending. Dash Wilder goes outside the ring. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable would attack Dash, forcing the DQ. So the Revival were gonna win the match regardless. And also, this is Ricochet and Aleister's first loss on the main roster. 3 weeks in, and you make your 2 top call-ups look like shit. And you make them lose in a ridiculous way. Fucking dumb. More terrible, inconsistent booking. So after the match, Bobby Roode, Aleister, Ricochet, and Chad Gable get a yelling match. All 4 men would brawl for post-match assault. But Ricochet and Aleister Black would clear the ring. Both of them would do their backflip poses. And both Ricochet and Aleister stand tall. Well, maybe Ricochet and Aleister will become tag champions one day. Their time is just right now. So next up, we have a signing of a hold harmless agreement. Because it was announced earlier in the night that all charges per Stephanie McMahon, all charges on Becky Lynch have officially been dropped. And Becky's 60-day suspension has been officially lifted. And Becky will challenge Charlotte for the vacated Raw Women's title at Fastlane. Yes, when Ronda officially laid the title at Stephanie's feet, Ronda officially vacated the title. So Ronda lost the belt without actually losing. Okay. Well, that's one way to get the belt off her. But Becky only gets this title match if she signs a hold harmless agreement, which means that if anything happens to Becky, if she injures her knee again or another body part, the WWE is not responsible for it and Becky can't sue them. So then Steph goes on and then says that anything can happen on the road to WrestleMania. So then Charlotte Flair comes out to the ring along with Becky Lynch. Charlotte then goes on and asks if Steph can hand the title to her right now. No, Charlotte, you cannot have it handed to you. No. You gotta prove that you don't have a silver spoon shoved up your ass. You actually have to earn it for once instead of have it handed to you. Because you are not John Cena or Roman Reigns. It does not work that way for you. So then Becky goes on and says that they can do this right now. But Steph says that can't happen because the hold harmless agreement has to go through the legal department to be finalized. So then after some hesitation, Becky Lynch officially signs the agreement, making the match at Fastlane official. And then Ronda Rousey shows up from the parking lot into the backstage area. So Ronda Rousey shows up late for work. But so we go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break. Ronda Rousey's music hits. Ronda Rousey comes out to the ring. So then Ronda goes on saying that, ask what Steph is doing. And then Steph's doing that she's doing what's best for business. And Ronda left Steph and the McMahon's no other choice. So then, sorry man. So then Ronda said that she wanted to include Becky in the match, not have her herself excluded. So then Ronda goes and asks for her title back. And then Steph's hands title back, so now Ronda is once again your Raw Women's Champion. Well, that's one way for Ronda to now become a two-time Raw Women's Champion. Congratulations, Ronda. You've officially won more titles in WWE than you did in UFC. And you didn't even have to lose the WWE title to become a two-time champion. Congratulations. This is a great moment for you. But hold up. We ain't done yet. Because continuing on, Steph then goes on and changes the match to now just a normal one-on-one match between Charlotte and Becky at WrestleMania, at Fastlane. And in this match, if Becky loses, she is out of the Raw Women's title picture completely, and the match at Mania will be Ronda versus Charlotte Flair. However, if Becky wins, then the matchup at Mania for the Raw Women's title will become a triple threat match between Rousey, Charlotte, and Becky. So, okay, well, I guess that officially means that Becky's going to be winning the match Sunday. Because Becky won the Royal Rumble, which means she gets a shot at the women's title at WrestleMania regardless. So then Ronda goes on saying that she's too big a value for Steph to fire. And then Ronda goes on saying that Steph values her bank account more than Becky and Charlotte's flail with the bodies. So then Ronda goes on saying that she works her ass off every night and exceeds everyone's expectations, only the fans to turn on her. And Ronda even mentioned the fact that she got booed in her hometown at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. So then Ronda goes on and says that she's no one's dancing monkey anymore. That's racist. Also, Ronda, that's just part of the fan base, It just depends on who the flavor of the month is. They'll get behind somebody, but then eventually they'll just slowly turn their back on them. It happens to the best. So then Ronda goes on and then says that she can do what she wants, when she wants, and no one can do a damn thing about it. So then Ronda goes on and ends this by saying, screw your fantasy, boo to woo, and no more Mrs. Nice Bitch. So then Ronda goes on and attacks Charlotte and Becky Lynch. Charlotte then stays out of the ring. Ronda would lock in the armbar 3 times on Becky, do a couple judo throws to Becky, go after the leg, while Charlotte Flair watches at ringside and then goes onto the stage. Charlotte thought about going into the ring, but once Ronda saw Charlotte jumped off the ring apron and walked away. It's like, nope. Charlotte wants no part of Ronda right now. So then after all that, while Charlotte watches from this ramp, Ronda Rousey would stand tall holding the Raw Women's title. So yes, this officially means that Ronda Rousey has turned heel. She is officially a villain now. I'll admit, this is a big gamble for WWE. Because we have never seen Ronda in a situation where she's the bad guy. I don't know if the UFC ever portrayed her as a bad guy in any fight. Ever. You know, all the UFC fans, you're going to have to double check on me. It's very hard to keep up with UFC. Because of all the goddamn different wrestling that's going on these days. So yeah, for this is a huge gamble for WWE to turn Ronda heel. But you know, Becky's super over with the crowd. The fans have been slowly turning on Ronda. So I guess, you know, it makes sense, you know, give the fans an excuse to boo Ronda. But yeah, this is a high-risk move. But the reward could be big. Ronda could end up being the biggest heel the company's ever had. You know, we're just got to wait and see how this works out. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple weeks of Ronda as a heel. But Ronda stands tall, and that's how we end Monday Night Raw. So, long review, again. Sorry, folks. Just a lot to talk about. You know, it's a go-home show. It was pretty trash. You know, very good ending there. Good heel turn. But in the end, show rating, 3 out of 10. If we didn't have the heel turn, it probably would have been a 1 out of 10 show. But Ronda's heel turn was enough to make it a 3 out of 10. So yeah, that's all I gotta say, folks. Real quick, I'll address the incident between Arn Anderson and Alicia Fox last weekend, where Arn Anderson was fired. Because what happened was, Alicia Fox showed up to a house show drunk. And Arn Anderson let her compete while she was intoxicated. And Vince did not like that. And Vince told Arn to get fucked and fired. And was sent to the guillotine. And Alicia Fox still has a job at the company. Let's be real. If this was a real sport or a real job or a real company, Alicia Fox would have been fired immediately. Or she would have at best got suspended without pay. Like, I'm surprised Arn even let her compete. Like, honestly, Arn should have sent her home. Like, I honestly blame both of them. I blame Alicia for showing up drunk to begin with. You should be sober. You should be sober before a house show. Like, you are wrestling for the premier wrestling company in the world. And you show up to a house show drunk? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, if this was a real wrestling company that... If this was a real company that, Alicia pulled this shit in, she would have been fired immediately. Like, if I was the boss, I would have fired her ass. Because doesn't WWE have a zero tolerance policy on this shit? Oh, yeah, wait, they don't enforce it most of the time. Because it's so fucking inconsistent and broken. Because let's be real. WWE is not a real company. They're a fucking gong show. And this incident of Alicia Fox showing up to a show drunk, it's not only a massive black eye to the company, it makes the company look like a bigger shithole and more incompetent than it already was. Like, it just became an even bigger gong show. Like, it's fucking amazing how this company continues to lower the bar. They keep finding ways to make themselves look bad even more. Congratulations, WWE. You have become as big of a shit show as NASCAR has become. Now we just wait for Vince McMahon to pull a Brian France and get himself arrested for doing something stupid. Like, probably not out of the realm. I mean, Vince McMahon getting himself arrested would be the ultimate McMahon thing to do. But yeah, I think I ranted on long enough real quick about this. So yeah, that's all I gotta say, folks. Hope everyone's a great day. We'll see how much of a shitfest Fastlane will be. But yeah, peace out.